Welcome back to the Christian I Ching. This lecture is a review and some suggested next steps. I'm Roger Sessions. What I'm going to do in this unit is just review everything that we've covered in this course and then suggest some things you might want to move forward with. The I Ching all starts with struggle. If you're not struggling with anything, then you really don't have any, the I Ching is not going to provide any value for you. But if you have struggle and you have faith that you will receive an answer and you have the tools for doing the communications, you will find that you are going to receive answers to the most pressing questions you may have. And interestingly enough, faith is not the most important component of this. You'd think that it was, but I've seen many, many situations where people have gotten very profound answers from the Christian I Ching, even when they didn't believe that it would give them anything. So if you have the struggle and if you're willing to do the communications and you're open to the responses you'll build the faith in the process over time, believe me, because you'll see over and over again the most profound answers you can imagine coming from this process. As a review, I'll just remind you of the process that I went through to create this workshop. Should I create an online workshop for the Christian I Ching? The argument in favor of it was I felt a strong call to do it. I've seen the power of the Christian I Ching, and I'm really the only one that I can think of who has the background to do this, has both the background in the I Ching and the Christian background to understand how to bring these two elements together. But arguing against it is I don't have the time. I've spent a year writing the book, and I feel like I've done enough. Okay, I Ching, it's your time. You want to get in front of people? You figure out how to do it now. I need to focus on my consulting activities that are actually likely to generate some income. So what should I do? Yes or no? The first thing I do is prepare myself. I pray for an answer. I light some incense. I do some meditation. And I put my hands into God to give me a solution to whatever it is I'm struggling with. I'll offer the question to God. I'll write it down in my workbook, and I'll start to receive the numbers. I'll receive 6 numbers. The way I'm going to receive those numbers is using the stone protocol. Remember the stone protocol? That's where we start out with the 49 stones and we go through this whole sequence of steps. Again, you can refer back to page 60 in your Christian I Ching if you just need a quick refresher course on that. But this is going to give us, we're going to go through the sequence 6 times. We get 6 numbers, 1 for each of the lines. Each one of those numbers is going to be a value of either 6, 7, 8, or 9. Knowing the numbers, I can translate those to lines, as we've discussed, where the even numbers become open lines and the odd numbers become closed and the extreme numbers become moving. So write down the lines, write down which ones are moving. With those 2 pieces of information, we can construct the resulting hexagram by simply copying the lines one by one, except for those that are moving, which we reverse. We now have 2 hexagrams, a starting and a resulting hexagram. We look them both up in the index. So we start with our starting hexagram. Then we can read the starting archetype. We first of all always double check the pictogram, make sure they match up. Read the starting archetype and see what that's telling me about where I'm starting out on this whole journey. Read the moving lines. Well, the moving lines are going to talk to me about the energy flows that are operating on me. And then we can go to the resulting archetype. And once again, you read all of the resulting archetype, but don't read the lines, because we only read the lines in the starting archetype. Now, the answer that you get may be an answer that's going to immediately make sense to you. Often these answers just jump out at me from the page in terms of what their meaning is. But sometimes you're going to get an answer that's not going to be so easy to interpret. And those are ones you just want to sit with for a while. It may take days. I've had some readings where it took a week or 2 before I felt like I finally got some insight that clarified the whole reading. So take the time it needs to get the clarity that you need to understand the response that you've been given. Don't necessarily expect it to be immediately obvious, but don't overlook the obvious either. So receive God's wisdom in whatever time it takes you to do that. That is basically how you use the Christian I Ching. I think you're going to find it a valuable counselor to your life. Now that you're pretty familiar with the Christian I Ching, where should you go next with it? Well, one thing I'd suggest is you find a Christian I Ching partner. It's really great to work with somebody else who can shed light on your readings. And they'll probably see things in the readings that never occurred to you to see in there. You can go to the next step, which is to actually create a group of like 5 or 6 people that meet on a monthly basis to compare readings, much like you might have a dream group getting together to discuss each other's dreams. Perhaps consider working with a spiritual director, especially if you can find one trained or at least open to using the Christian I Ching, because they can use the Christian I Ching in a more holistic way, where they're also looking at your dreams, they're looking at your synchronicities in your life, they're looking at your prayer life, they're looking at your meditation, how you're doing that, so they can build this into a larger spiritual practice. But it's important that you find somebody who's open to the Christian I Ching, because you'll find that many spiritual directors will not be open to that source of wisdom, unfortunately. Go to christianiching.org and sign up for email alerts if you'd like me to keep you up to date on when there's new videos or new articles or when I put out a new blog about this. Go there and just sign up for email alerts. I don't send out a lot of stuff. It's maybe once a month I'll send something out, if that. But that way I can let you know when there's some new paper or video or group meeting online or something like that. And keep in touch. I'm Roger at christianiching.org. I'd love to hear about how this has become meaningful in your life. Let me know about readings that you've done and how they've helped you deal with situations. I love those kinds of stories. So keep in touch. I really hope that you find that the Christian I Ching is as valuable to you as it has been to me. It's been tremendously valuable to me. Good luck on your journey. I wish you the best. I pray for you. I'll hold you in my heart. Good luck to you, and good luck to you in your use of the Christian I Ching. God be with you.